But here's Bejeweled getting on terms. Salou Boutte, the insider Bejeweled. He's kicking Salou Boutte, but Bejeweled is lifting on the outside. And here's 1,000 winners in Hong Kong for Douglas Whyte. Bejeweled beats Salou Boutte. Lucky Winner third. Super Baby at odds running fourth. Then Horse Win-Win from Happy Go Lucky, Top Light. Then Guandao from Plan B, Rocket Power, Fly Me to the Moon, Rich Forever from Bodacious. And congratulations to Douglas Whyte. That's 4 winners on the day.
Dougie, it's been a long journey for you from your days in South Africa to Singapore, right, and then Hong Kong. In 140 words or less, tell us about the journey.
It's been a hell of a journey, as you yourself indicated. I was riding for David Payne. I was stable jockey to him in South Africa, and I ventured over to Singapore for a couple of weekends. They used to have the Malaysian circuit, which used to be Singapore and then Penang and Malaysia. So it used to be a Saturday, Sunday double weekend, and I went over 3 times and I was very successful. Won the Lions City Cup and a couple of other big races. And while I was there, bless his soul, old Robin Park, he came over and he said, you should think about applying for Hong Kong. And I said, oh, I've got a great job back home and this is just a come away and enjoyable weekend every now and then. Anyway, he carried on hounding me, and I thought, oh, let me put in an application, and I did, and a week later they approved it and they said, I've got a 3-month license. And the rest is history.
Fireball went whoosh. Fireball raced to the lead from Elite, then Solar Sentry and Sunnyland, but it's all the favourite. And to the cheers of the crowd, Fireball raced away to beat Elite. London News in front, Privilege won't give in. London News doing the better, and London News, he's everything they said and he wins. London News.
Congratulations to Douglas Whyte.
He realised he's had to put all that gear on especially to come up here for a photograph. Wonderful performance, Douglas. Very well done.
And Super Saturn, a great duel here in the Derby. They're wide apart. Super Saturn lunges at Super Pistachio and got him.
What was, do you remember your first winner here? What was it?
My first winner was a horse for Wong Tang Ping called Fireball.
Fireball out in the centres, warming up, and at the 150, Fireball went whoosh. Fireball raced to the lead from Elite, then Solar Sentry and Sunnyland, but it's all the favourite. And to the cheers of the crowd, Fireball raced away to beat Elite. Sunnyland. Douglas Whyte brings up his first win in Hong Kong aboard Fireball, the short price favourite in race number 3.
And again, a bit of history. His last winner as a trainer was for the same owner called Northern Fireball, and I won on it. So he gave me my first winner, and I gave him his last winner as a trainer.
I mean, it's difficult, you know, for you to think of highlights, but if you had 3 highlights in the time you've been here, what would they be?
One that springs to mind without even thinking about it is London News.
Privilege won't give in. London News, the pride of South Africa, goes up and goes to the lead. Privilege on the inside is coming again. London News in front. Privilege won't give in. London News doing the better, and London News, he's everything they said and he wins. London News by a half. Privilege second. Anis Mirabilis third, and Sapio made good ground to run in fourth. From Oriental Express to Ville.
He was part of my success story in South Africa and here. He first horse to travel outside of South Africa, and I won the QE2 on him. And then, you know, my first derby, it had been a long time, and you never forget the first one.
Working his way into the clear, getting underneath Fair Trade and Super Saturn to the outside. Super Saturn's going after Super Pistachio. Brave Kid between them. Super Pistachio and Super Saturn. Super Pistachio and Super Saturn. A great duel here in the Derby. They're wide apart. Super Saturn lunges at Super Pistachio and got him. Super Saturn just from Super Pistachio. Brave Kid third, then Beauty Flash from King Dancer. Beauty Legend.
It's special moments like that. But the third one would be your first winner in Hong Kong. You know, you come here as a young individual that's trying to prove himself, and I don't think anybody can express the, not so much pressure, but the feeling and the satisfaction of going past the line first in front of 50, 60,000 odd people that you've never seen or experienced in South Africa, crowd-wise, and you know, you get that monkey off your back. It's a fantastic feeling.
With these three highlights, you haven't mentioned winning the championship once, and you won the championship 13 times. So are you trying to say...
Well, you never gave me 13 options, you gave me 3. So I had to narrow them down.
Don't get cheeky now. But what about your 13 consecutive championships?
Of course, that's special, but you know, that comes with hard work, determination, and support along the way, and it's something I never ever dreamt of doing. It just had a snowball effect, and it just grew on me, and I got hungrier and more determined, and I had a fantastic ride. It's been a great 13 years of my life.
And when the 13th year ended, how did you feel? Did you feel gutted?
No, I felt complete. You know, everything has a shelf life, and it got to a stage where it was always going to happen, and I'd mentally prepared myself for that 3 years before it did happen. I'm still very competitive. I'm very hungry, but it's a life-changing cycle. Everything has to change, and everything will change eventually. It's any sport in the world. It changes, and as I said, it was a satisfaction, and it was a new chapter of my life, because from there on in, it was more about focusing on Group 1 races, traveling more, enjoying racing more, and I think I've perfected that.
And you did have Group 1 successes even after you lost that championship to Zach, right?
I think I had most of my Group 1 winners that particular year.
Gold Fun, Douglas Whyte asked him for the effort down. He puts his head in front from Dan Excel. Charles the Great's running home into third, but Gold Fun takes out the Queen's Silver Jubilee Cup from an Evergame Dan Excel. Charles the Great third, followed by Lucky Nine and Frederick Engels, then Flagship Shiner.
So, you know, looking back at that year, I lost the premiership, but I think monetary-wise, I was the biggest stake earner, and I won a good handful of Group 1 races.
And who do you think, I mean, amongst the trainers, you've ridden for everyone, haven't you?
I have.
Who are the trainers that mean a lot to you for different reasons?
You know, there's friends and there's trainers, and I'm not going to go down the route of business and friendship, and it's just been a special ride along the way, and I've got some fantastic friends both in racing and outside of racing, and I just appreciate everything they've done for me, and they've been there for me, and they've supported me, and they know who they are.
Well, I'll mention one trainer, okay, Ivan Allen, the legend. What does he mean to you?
He started me off. He's a chapter in my life. One of the cleverest, most astute trainers. He would be training against anybody now worldwide and hold his own. And he was doing this 15, 18 years ago when I first came here. He could leave his yard, go and buy horses, go and deal with things that personal or whatever he had to deal with, and he would run his ship from wherever he was, and he could get back here and he would know exactly what was going on to detail, so much so that you'd walk into the paddock and he would tell you, now this is going to happen today, and so help me, you jump out the gates and you just think, no, it's just not possible. And that's the kind of things that Ivan used to do. You know, he could achieve and fulfill things that not many trainers would be able to do.
Oriental Express continues to run on. The run ends for the Pumpkin. Oriental Express goes to the front. Payne rides hard on Viali and goes to second. Oriental Express in front. Viali surging late, but Oriental Express, Ivan Allen again. Oriental Express beats Viali in third. Johan Cruyff down the outside.
You're now riding for Tony. And I remember Tony got a big break through Ivan as well. You know, I think with Colonial Chief when he was riding. And you're now riding for Tony. What's that like? Because Tony can be a tough taskmaster.
Tony's Tony. Tony has his. That's what I love about Tony. He has his say and it's over with, you know, and he doesn't hold a grudge for a long time. And he's right in saying it. He believes in what he says, and he's got a brain between his head. He knows he's racing inside out, and he knows horses. He's a fantastic horseman. He's very special with animals. But again, Tony and I go back a long way. You know, his last winner as a jockey was Super Team, and my first winner for him as his stable jockey was Super Team. So him and I had a great association together, and we still do now.
Pina Fabia's in for the fight. Great finish here. Bundle of Joy in Pina Fabia. Bundle of Joy. Pina Fabia lunges on the far side and got up to win it. Pina Fabia in the last bound beat Bundle of Joy. Smart Volatility third, followed by Frederick Engels. You read my mind, Sterling City, Eagle Regiment, and unfortunately Amber Sky was gone a long way out.
It's been a long time since I've ridden a lot with Tony, but this year I've ridden more for him than I have in the last 5 years, and it's fantastic. You know, I'm getting on really well with him, and I'm having success for him. But Tony can train a horse, and Tony's come a long way from when I was his stable jockey. He's changed his racing, his training methods. He's tweaked a lot of things, and for the better. And he's always going to be a force to be reckoned with on the trainers' premiership table.
Right. The one thing when people discuss you, you know, and people I really respect, I don't respect many, as you know, what they always say about Douglas Whyte is 2 words: consummate professional. And you know that, I've told you that. What do you think, you know, with modesty aside, what do you think makes you the tough professional that you are?
I think it's what you want out of whatever sport or game or business you're in, and I think it's how you sell yourself as an individual. You know, you can either think you're better than everybody and big-headed, big-mouthed. You can be a show-off. There's many of us in many different sports, but I was taught very young, you only have one name, and when you lose your integrity and your name, no money, no friends, no health, no whatever you want can buy it back. And Ivan Allen instilled that in me as well. He was a very wise man, and I think the respect that people had for him astounds me till this day. He wasn't afraid of taking on anyone if he believed he was right to clear his name. And I'm sure a lot of people will remember a couple of the cases that he went to hell and high water to clear his name, and he did, because he believed that his name was everything. And I think if you can maintain that in life, and you can retain your name and your integrity and live by it, well, that makes you a very special individual.
Now, there are people who say that you're not exactly a fun guy in the jockey's room. You don't exactly go around high-fiving people and doing the moonwalk. So are you a moody little guy in the jockey's room?
I wouldn't say I'm moody. I would say I'm a professional. I would say when I walk onto the racetrack, I'm a very focused individual, and it's not in my nature to go around high-fiving and asking about, you know, I go to the races for a purpose, and the other guys may think that I'm hard up and all up myself in the jockeys room, but you know, business is business for me, and off the track I'm a totally different individual. But when I'm on the racetrack, I'm pretty focused.
The other thing is the horse whisperer. Was that something you learned from him? I mean, you went to see him with Felix Kutsi, right?
Yeah, Monty Roberts. He's probably one of the most phenomenal individuals on this planet. What he's done for people, let alone horses, I don't think any other individual would ever, and I'll make a statement, would ever be able to do what he's done. The people he's helped, the lives he's saved, and the horses that have been mistreated, abused, mishandled, and how he's given them another life and a chance again, and also taught people around the world how not to allow that to happen. And he's, again, one of those individuals that sticks by what he believes in. And he's been pulled down the gutters many times. That you know, he injects horses to get them quiet, and he does this, and he works on them before he puts them on a show to display them to people, and that's just jealous people talking. There's none of that. I can guarantee you. He's an individual that does things with horses that if half of us would be able to do, we'd leave this world a better place.
What have you learned from him?
I've learned to try and work with a horse as opposed to against a horse. You know, a horse should be willing to do something, and it shouldn't be forced to do something. It's what we humans respect with each other. You know, you tell me to do something and I won't, but you ask me to do something and I'll cooperate. So I've tried to better myself at cooperating better with the horse.
The other thing, looking back at Hong Kong racing industry, and you're very much part of it, and you probably will be part of it because you plan to stay in Hong Kong, you know, once you stop riding as well, I think. What do you think have been the differences looking over the, 16 years since you've been here?
Hong Kong, it's a part of my life now. My children were born here, and I've been here 17 years now. Yeah, when I stop, I will always have some interest in Hong Kong. I'll always be here. But looking back when I first began and to what it is now, it's a huge difference. Especially with the people I worked with and for, and but it's been a journey that I would never change. It's been both professionally and family, friends, out of racing people. I've met people, the most phenomenal people in the world, and I've had a great ride. So once it's going to get very frustrating for me when I'm not in the saddle anymore, because I enjoy it, I love it, and I always have to do something. But looking back at Hong Kong, I'd be able to look back and say, Hong Kong's given me something that I would never ever have been able to have got anywhere else. And I've given Hong Kong something that I've worked damn hard to achieve. And I'm proud of that.
Goldfun's got the last shot at them. He's surging now, Goldfun, overcoming adversity to win the race. Goldfun, here he comes. Akeed Mafeed rests the lead in the cup, and Akeed Mafeed draws away to beat Tokai Halo.
I'd like to invite our club deputy chairman, Dr. Simon Eve, to present the award to Douglas Whyte.
係啦，特別要恭喜韋達咧，今年係連續第13年啊，成為冠軍騎師，表現真係非常之出色啊！
That's right, once again, congratulations to Douglas on winning this coveted title for 13 years in a row. Congratulations.
Pinophobia's in for the fight. Great finish here. Bundle of Joy in Pinophobia. Bundle of Joy. Pinophobia lunges on the far side and got up to win it. Pinophobia in the last bout.
If you had to give advice to a new rider coming to Hong Kong, you know, who might have some preconceived idea about Hong Kong racing, what would it be?
Harder you work, the luckier you get, and you create your own luck.
So do you think people do come here with a preconceived notion that it's going to be an easy ride?
I think a lot of people used to think that, and I think from when I started, I think the Hong Kong Jockey Club has become one of the most renowned racing jurisdictions and clubs in the world. Their quality of horse, their competitive side in the races, their rating bands, which you can see when a horse crosses the line. There's sometimes 1-2 lengths amongst 6, 7, 10 horses. So I would say it's probably the most competitive racing jurisdiction in the world, and I do think people thought it was easy coming here, and you know, Tom Queally rode Frankel. Tom Queally came here and they didn't know who Tom Queally was, and it doesn't matter that they didn't know who Tom Queally was, but maybe he came here thinking, I'm Frankel's jockey, they'll know who I am, and you know, it'll be put on a platter for me. It doesn't work in Hong Kong. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. You have to put in the effort to gain the rewards.
What's more important for you, international success or Hong Kong success?
I think both, especially if I'm representing Hong Kong internationally. Hong Kong's home now, and it's all about Hong Kong, but to go away for a weekend and ride internationally, especially on a Hong Kong horse, it gives me a great buzz.
Now Whyte asks for the supreme effort on a Keedma feed. He draws the stick as he goes after Gold Fun. Endowing still there on the fence. Rainbow Chic going between them. It's a Keedma feed. Gold Fun, Endowing, but the odds-on favourite, a Keedma feed, will prevail in the derby. A Keedma feed wins at 3/4 of a length. Endowing got second, an inch in front of Gold Fun, followed by Rainbow Chic.
And hanging up the saddle, when do you think that will be?
When I lose the fire in my belly, and when I don't have the competitive streak in me anymore. I can't answer that question. I feel great. I'm physically and mentally healthy, so I'll be around for a while yet.
But I mean, do you think though the pressure is off you now that there's Zach and Moreira ahead of you? Do you think you're a happier jockey?
I wouldn't say the pressure's off me. I would say I'm less focused on, because I've been there, I've done it. When you say a happier jockey, I think I'm a more content jockey, in that I'm enjoying what I do more now, and I can make a decision and say no sometimes if for a particular reason, whereas when I was chasing, you know, you want 10 rides every meeting or 11 rides every meeting, and you want to fill up every single race, and but I don't feel the need to have to do that anymore. If I go to the races with 7 or 6 good rides or chances, as opposed to 10, I'm very happy, I'm comfortable. You know, as I said, I'm enjoying it more now from a different point of view than what I was 5-6 years ago.
Thanks, man.
It's a pleasure, as always.
Cheers, bud. Good day.